everyone, you love the music, now be a part of the movement. Press Play is building a home for artists and fans just like you, and now you can help shape it. All you gotta do is go to pressplay.me and grab you some merch and wear it really loud and really proud, and of course buy it for everybody you know. And know that you're helping musicians and music stay real, independent, and alive. And here's something really special. You can send a personal message to the artist of your choice. If we've done an interview with them, you have an opportunity to write them a note. You can write them a small message, or you can write them a whole letter, and it will go directly to them. Just click the link on any of our interviews, write from the heart, and let your voice be heard. So tune in, rock with us, and press play. Get the gear, send the love. Music lives when the fans do.
Hi, I'm Jamie Floyd.
And I'm Jake Hoot.
And you're listening to Press Play Radio.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Press Play Radio Conversations. I'm the Dan, as you know, the Jersey kid. And I've got Tina here, our CEO of Press Play. And I'm honored to have not only just Jake Hoot here, who won season 17 of The Voice, but we have Jamie Floyd here as well with her amazing voice.
Hey.
Two amazing voices and musicians here with us. How are you both doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here with y'all. And what about you, Jake?
I'm doing terrible. Thank you for asking. No, I'm just kidding. I'm doing great. It's a good day. It's a beautiful weather here in Tennessee, so it's a beautiful day.
It is. Well, you know what? I'm going to cut right to the chase because we have both of you here. I want to play a clip of this duet you have coming out. When did you say it was going to hit everywhere?
April
Friday?
3rd. April 3rd, this Friday,
3rd.
yeah.
Okay.
So here we go. This is The Blade, a clip of The Blade. Here we go. It's not the full song. We always play a segment that stood out. So I'm going to do that right now. Here. You caught it by the handle, baby, and I caught it by the blade. That's the risk you run when you love, and you give it all you got to give. Knowing all along there's a chance you'll reach and they won't. You'll bleed and they don't. I thought we were both in all the way, but you caught it by the handle, and I caught it by the blade. Damn.
Goosebumps. Oh my
Oh, thank you.
Duet, you two. What was it?
Thank you.
That's like I could see A Star Is Born remake with you two in it.
Hey, come on. Listen,
Oh,
you
thank you.
direct us to the director and we'll make it happen, yeah.
Write it up.
What are some of your duets? How did you now before we started, you mentioned about the Kelly Clarkson. Is that how you two met? Right in that first session together, was that song?
Yes. I had just come off The Voice, and I had done a Lone Star song as one of my finale
Nice.
songs. And I actually had them come out and play my Welcome Home concert with me. And Dean and I became great friends. And he called me one day and said, "Hey, let's do a write." And I said, "All right." And he told me, "Hey, I've got another writer coming in." And he said, "Jamie Floyd." And I was like, awesome. I mean, I hadn't lived in Nashville at all, so I was new to the whole, co-writing thing. And that's when we met, and Jamie unleashed it with that hook. And that was just like lightning in a bottle. It is an incredible write.
It's pretty special. I will say I've been in Nashville for almost 24 years now, and it's very seldom that you get in the room and you have your very first co-write and Jake Hoot and Kelly Clarkson record the song. So that was so beautiful that the very first time Jake and I ever met and the very first song we ever wrote ended up having that special magic around it. So ever since we've been friends and done shows together, and it's been a really special ride so far.
That's
So
awesome.
did you present it to Kelly, Jake? Did she know about this song, or how did that come
Yeah.
about?
Well, when I was on the show, she made it a point, like, every time, because you'd have performances on Mondays, and then results on Tuesdays to find out who was staying, who was going, and she would always say, like, "As soon as we're done with this whole thing, like, I wanna work with you, I wanna work with you," and then especially after the finale, she told me, like, "Let's do something," and so when we wrote that song, I remember us talking about it, and I was like, "I'm just gonna send it to her and see," and it was about 3 months later, I had some questions about management and whatever else, and so I said, "Hey, can we hop on a call?" And she called me right away, and we talked about all these different things. She gave me a lot of great advice, and towards the end, I said, "Hey, I know this is a Hail Mary, but I sent you a song, love it, hate it, no interest." She goes, "I didn't even see it, send it again." And I tell people about literally 4 minutes later, she calls me back, and she said, "Absolutely, I wanna shout this from the rooftops, like, I'm in, let's make this happen." So she was very generous, and, I mean, we even flew out during COVID to shoot the music video there in LA, and she came out, after a long shoot and stayed there with us and did a lot of stuff, so it was really special.
Wow.
That is special. Now, I heard you say that you could play a little bit of that together, and if you wanna go to that hook that you said, um, can you guys do that? Play the
Yeah,
hook?
yeah, I'm gonna let Jamie play it because she's a much better guitar player than I am,
Let's see. Let's see. Let me do you know yeah, you have your clipper here. Okay, sorry, I don't want to hit
and I
Jake.
think it's half a step down.
Oh,
Have a
I
sit
love the
down.
capo.
So
A
let's
capo is my
see.
friend.
I
I
feel
love the
like
capo.
it's let's just get it.
I just came back from London with this guitar, so after watching videos and what they do with guitars, I'm sure that's why it's a little out of tune, but
There we
You
go.
have
I
to
think
play
that's
you
yeah.
you have to play it on the opposite side of the neck? Is that the
Yeah, yeah, just the toilets were backwards, everything was backwards, so, yeah.
let's see. So Jake, I'm gonna put this here.
Okay.
Give you that. Hold that for me. I'm just gonna find this. Can we is that more than if you're doing lead? Do you feel like
More than
oh, shoot.
forever, always mine. Yeah, let's do it there.
Okay, cool.
We just wanna do the chorus?
Yeah, let's
Alright,
do
great.
that.
Here we go. More than forever, always mine. The deepest, unforgettable. With what I am, with my whole heart open. For the rest of my life, I promise you, I'm gonna hate you as long and as much as I would love you. I would love you.
So that was our chorus from that
Yeah.
one with our hook, yeah, that we started with that morning.
Mhm.
It's
I
so
always,
wait. Go ahead, Tina.
I always like to know like the story behind the song. Give me a little bit more. Go deeper. Where did it come from? What's the inspiration?
Well, so I am so happy to be married to the love of my life now, but at the time, gosh, this is a
He's actually the love of my life too. He's my best friend. Yeah, he's my
we
guy.
we joke
Wow.
that I introduced my husband to the love of his life, which is Jake Hoot. But back before Jake came in the picture, no. But gosh, we wrote this about 6 years ago
Yeah,
now.
2020.
Yeah, so I unfortunately had had my heart broken really badly, and I had been cheated on for the first time, which I'd never been through before. And of course, when that happens to you, as at least me as a songwriter, I call myself a nonfiction writer. So I just started wanting to just get that pain and get that heartache out of me, and I usually put it into my songs, and it's just a way that I heal. And so when I that day that we were writing with Dean and Jake, it was just funny because they were like, "Oh, what kind of ideas could we write a duet about?" And I was like, "Well, I have this hook about, you know how you tell everybody you're gonna love them forever and like all these wedding songs and everything, or just, sunshine and rainbows kind of thing. Well, what if we wrote a song that's kind of like a fake out, or a hook could work where you make it sound like it's you're gonna profess this love, and instead you're gonna say, well, instead of loving you forever, I'm gonna hate you as long as I would have loved you. And the two of them were like, maybe we don't do that. That
No,
sounds
this
like
is
we're not gonna do that. But we, for whatever reason, came back around to it, and Dean started playing this amazing piano part. And when you have a singer like Jake in the room, it's really you can be very inspired very quickly. And it just started kind of rolling out. And I'm hoping anyone who's ever had their heart broken or ever been betrayed by somebody they love could hear that and be like, gosh, I never thought of it that way, but that's how I felt. And I feel like I've heard Jake and Kelly do interviews where Kelly's talked about that and how she's personally related to it, which was really special to just hear how a song can reach out and help someone else heal. So that's where it
Absolutely.
came from. Yeah.
Thank you for
So
that.
thanks to Jake and Dean for being willing to write a sad, sad song. It worked out for us. So
I think,
Well,
I think as a songwriter, it's like, when you're co-writing, you're hoping to pull from everybody's
mhm.
Mhm.
experiences and stories. And Dean had been through a rough relationship. I had been through a rough relationship. And it just, unfortunately, it all worked really well to put into this song. And so she's being very generous, saying, my vocal was an inspiration. I literally sat there and just took notes for everybody
He did.
and went and got them water if they needed it, snacks, whatever. And then came back later, but,
Oh, no.
but no, it's definitely been a very special song over the years.
That's awesome.
When I think of duets and stuff, so when that was recorded, were you in the same room or were they recorded separately? You said it was during COVID, right?
Separately,
The
yeah.
vocals
I
were
was
separate.
working with Danny Myrick. He was the producer on it, which Danny's written a lot of big songs, incredible musician, producer, all the things. And I remember all the different voice notes going back between me and Kelly, trying to get it, where the key was right, because Kelly can sing like way down here and then also sing way up here. And so we were trying to find that key
Right.
that stretched both of us vocally. And so we ended up getting it done, and then we ended up flying out not long after that to do the music video.
Wow. So now let me circle back around to this duet, The Blade, which you're the handle and I am the blade. It's like the one the knife or has two ends. You
Right.
have the dull blunt end and the sharp cutting end.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a really good juxtaposition in using that as a metaphor. But in that, were you in the booth together singing that? Or is that also separate?
So we were so my husband, Jimmy Thau, produced this. Jake's Love of Jake's Life produced.
My God. My God.
And we were in our studio at our home here in Nashville, and we were in the room when Jake cut his vocal. And but Jake, I did some of my parts without you there. But my husband and I and Jake were all in the same room for Jake's vocal. And so we got to kind of dig in together and do it together. So yeah.
The only reason I ask this, I wonder if there's a dynamic too, if you could both be at the mic together, like in a live performance when two people are at a mic. There's something magical about that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And have you are you gonna ever perform these songs together live, this song ever?
Yeah. So, we've got a couple different shows this year. We're about to head to Texas and play some shows. We're coming back, and I don't know how much we can say about it, but I got asked back to play the Opry, and we were able to work it out. We're going to get to play this on the Opry stage, and then in the summer, I've got symphony shows coming up, and so they're composing a bunch of my music in my catalog to a full symphony, and Jamie's actually coming out on the road for those as well, and so we're going to get to sing it there as well. So it's going to be all over the place. So if you miss one, you can catch another one
Sure.
down the road. Yeah.
But it's interesting that you bring that up because as far as the dynamic of what happens when two people sing together and have a song that's just
Yeah.
magic between them and the audience, and that's actually how this came to be. The reason we recorded this song is because, of course, we became friends after the Kelly Clarkson song with Jake was released, and we would do shows together. And I always played this song, The Blade, in my show because it was one of my first big cuts. Ashley Monroe and Miranda Lambert originally recorded it, and then Ronnie Dunn recorded it. So I always play it. And one night at one of our shows together, Jake was like, "Hey, could I sing the harmonies with you on The Blade?" And the audience had this reaction like never before. And we were like, wait a minute, because the song had never been done as a male female duet, I think, which made it much worse in a good way. I think it made it much more sad, and to kind of hear the two people kind of push and pull back and forth in the lyric. And so that's what made us want to record it. And so that dynamic live is what started everything, which is really special.
I love how Jamie just throws out there too. Oh, Ashley Monroe, Miranda Lambert. Ronnie Dunn covered it, no big deal.
Listen, when you're
Very
when you're in the big leagues like she is, those people are just like walking past somebody on the street. Me, every time
Yeah.
she says Ronnie Dunn, I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
what? Hold up a
Yep.
second. Yeah, yeah.
What did you just say? Yeah, but I've been very, very lucky. That song has had just made so many dreams come true for me, and now us getting to do it on the Opry coming up.
Well,
So
let me ask you, while I have you here then, of the 3, which one surprised you the most of the 3 cuts by those 3 artists? Which one really
Oh, that's
felt
a
like
good question.
oh, honestly, I
I'm
have
not
to.
saying one is better than the
Yeah,
other, I'm saying the one that surprised
yeah.
you when you heard it.
Honestly, the one that surprised me the most is, of course, I wasn't in the studio, during COVID and everything when Jake and Kelly were recording this. So I had no idea what the arrangement was turning out as. I was just going to be a surprise to me, obviously, once they finished cutting it. And what the two of them did with like the way that they elevated I Would Have Loved You was so truly surprising and so inspiring because Jake and Kelly like launch into this big moment at the end that you don't really see coming. Everything she did in the second verse was completely new than what I had done on the demo. And she did her and Jake together obviously is the magic on that song. And what she did, of course, to the female part that I was used to singing, w- elevated the song in such an emotional, incredible way that only a vocalist like that could take your song. We were Jake's wife, Brittany, and I were just joking that like when we do, because we're gonna cover this when Jake's symphony shows happen this summer, and I'm joking because I have to go get voice lessons so that I can sing it, learn my own song in the way Kelly Clarkson sings it. So I have to pay someone to teach me how to sing a song that I wrote because she elevated it so much. So I would say that was the most surprising and inspiring cut of
How
them.
much of that, Jake, was a producer that changed it that much, or was that Kelly's input, or was that your input that made it so different?
I've worked on a lot of projects where the producer, throws his weight around and really makes something special at, going against the artist and
Mhm.
whoever's on it. And then I've been in the room where, the vocalist turn it into something special. I truly think on that one, and a major shout out to Danny Myrick. Danny, when he produced it and when we were sitting there writing everything out and trying to game plan of what this was going to look like, um, Danny is brilliant, and he also is as good of a listener as he is creative. And so, Kelly had some input as far as the production, but her main, contribution was the vocal on it and taking what we had built together and then gave it to her, and then she ran crazy with it. And I remember trying to like send her voice memos of like, "Hey, maybe you should go to this note." And it sounded so bad because I'm trying to sing in Kelly Clarkson's range, and there's no way. But the whole big swell at the end, Danny was a big component of that. And when I'm out playing shows and stuff, and people come up to me and they talk about that song, how it impacted their life, whatever, how it helped them through a certain point of their journey, everybody brings up that big swell. And so I think to answer the question, I think it was a culmination of everything. And then, having the star power of Kelly Clarkson on anything and that vocal, she can literally sing anything. I mean, it's ridiculous and just blow the roof off it every time. And so it was that lightning in a bottle of everything just working. And I jokingly tell people, I don't know how I got to be on that song, but somehow I did. And it's been really cool over the years.
It was
Oh,
all part of the journey of finding the new man in your life. That was.
yeah.
It was all so he could meet Jimmy,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah, that's what I
Everything.
meant.
I
That's
had
what
a
I meant.
game plan. Yeah, yeah.
That's what I meant. You know, Tina, do you have anything, ba as you've been
No, I'm ready
singing?
for the next song.
Well, that's what I'm at. So, Jamie, if you'd like to sit in, keep part of this, we'd love to have you. It's up to you.
Great. Yeah, I'll hang out and
Yeah, come
I'll,
on.
I'll
Hang
cheer
out.
you guys.
So what I wanted to do was because now I've had different variations of the show. This is basically a brand new show that I'm doing with Tina, and it's taking off. And I have not, for the audience to know what it was like in season 17 of The Voice, and that's going to lead then to we're also going to talk about your kids' book.
Oh gosh, here we go. Let's go.
We're gonna do, but that's not. They're separate. But I wanted to play a clip from The Voice that, I was listening when I was watching back again. There was something about this moment and the reaction of the coaches that was just so genuine and unique that really stood out to me from this. And it was just one of those wow moments. And it introduces everybody to you as like the part of your journey. And so I wanted to play this clip here. This again is from season 17. It should load here.
I was so sure what I needed was more. Try to shoot out the sun. Days when we raced, we flew on the pace. Such damage was done. I made it through, 'cause somebody knew I was meant for someone. So girl, leave your boots by the bed. We ain't leaving this room till someone needs medical help or the magnolias bloom. It's cold in this house and I ain't going out to chop wood. So cover me up. I know you're enough to use me for good. Cover me up. I know you're enough to use me for good. Yeah, cover me up and know you're enough to use me for good.
Why that was so goosebumps up and down my arms every time I see that. And why that it comes to what brings me like Jamie Floyd writing songs is someone like you takes a creative piece of lyrics and music and then you elevate it. Like just listening and that performance, that song really just took a life of its own. And
Thanks,
that's
man.
the
I
thing that you
appreciate you saying
bring
that.
to music, right, Tina? I mean, when you hear something like that?
So when I heard your voice for the first time, and I don't watch The Voice, I just when I found out we were interviewing you, of course, I start listening to your music, and the first thing I thought about was this is almost like Garth Brooks reincarnate. Like, and I didn't think that anybody would ever get there. I'll be honest with you. Like Garth Brooks is way up here. You know what I mean? Like that's a hard sound to capture. And I was like, oh my gosh, you've made it. Like you've made it. That's what
Thank
I
you for
hear
saying
when I
that.
hear your voice. I don't know how many times you've heard that, but I'm like, wow, it's there. That's
I
incredible.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it like once or twice. I get compared to Ronnie Dunn a lot, but Garth is. I mean, obviously, he's one of the kings, right? I mean, you got the King George, and then Garth is coming up right behind him, and so that's a huge compliment. So thank you so much for saying that.
You're welcome. But that's
It's like the
that's the
Mount Rushmore of country music.
it
Yeah,
really is like,
Yeah.
oh, Jake, honey, you've made it. You have
Yeah.
made
That,
big fan already. If there's anything that we need, it's connection, especially in the world that we live in today, which is exactly the reason why we created these cards, the Song Story game. We sit and we talk to artists all the time about the stories behind the songs, the story behind the songs that they loved when they were growing up. And so we put together a game that you can own now and put it on your coffee table. And there's a few different ways you can play it. You can play it just as a conversation starter. You can play it with couples and besties for points, or you can play it in a team setting. 3 different ways you can have a lot of fun talking about music. One of my favorite ways to play it is to actually answer the question, give a little detail, and then play the song. This game could go on for hours. It's entirely up to you, but get yours today at pressplay.me.
and I
thank
think
you
that's
so
why it
much.
all ties together. Like you heard all 4. Now, Blake's the kind of guy, he takes it in, right? I've like Chris, who I've done a lot of work with in the past, my friend, but he'll sit there at a show like this, right? And you think, God, he's not enjoying himself. He's seriously just locked in and he's actually enjoying himself. Like he's taking everything. So everybody reacts differently. And you watch Blake, he's just kind of he's so focused in and laser focused on what you're doing that but then you got a Gwen who's flipping out and John Legend. I mean, it was just one of those things where you could just see that you affected people that a genuine reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen you live. I saw you down in Punta Gorda with Exile. I actually met you
Heck
at your
yeah, man. That's a throwback right there.
yeah, and I went met you at your booth with Brittany and uh but they're live. Again, you bring it live too. You're not a machine. There's no auto tune. There's no that's you, man. And the authenticity is there. Jamie, did you see him on The Voice? Just out of curiosity, were you watching any of it
Believe
when
it
he
or
was on it?
not, we've never talked about this. Believe it or not, I was on the road like nonstop. I had just things really take off, and I was also working on a musical in development for Broadway, so my life was like taken over by tons of traveling, and so I wasn't ever watching TV like you would if you were at home.
Mhm.
So when Dean called me, I had known your name, like I knew Jake had won, and I'd seen, clips when you're scrolling and stuff like that, but like
Right.
properly sitting down and watching TV, I just was gone for months at a time. And so when Dean brought me in, I hadn't watched like a full performance because I was just like under a rock of this musical and everything else I was trying to juggle. And so it was really fun to watch it back in a different way because then I knew Jake and then I got to watch it back and be like, wait a minute. So it was really cool to have it from that perspective.
Well, this definitely changes things. I mean, we're gonna have to have a conversation.
He's like, "What?
Yeah, that's not okay.
You
Yeah,
didn't watch it from the beginning? I'm sorry."
I get
No, but
told
you know
on a
what though? I was
I
gonna
get told
say
on a daily basis, like, man, I loved you on American Idol,
Oh,
or man, I loved you
yeah,
on America's Got Talent,
one of
or
them
they.
shows.
Yeah,
It's one of them
I was
shows.
signing things at an airport once, and I like a line of people came up to get autographs for whatever reason, and I was signing them. The very last person came up, I signed their thing, and as they were about 5 feet away from me, as they were going back, they said, "Man, I can't believe we just got Luke Combs to sign our thing."
Oh,
And I
jeez.
was like, well, so nothing really offends me whatsoever. I mean, it that Jamie is when she says she's busy, that's how she lives her life. I mean, she's writing Broadway
Yeah.
plays and all the different things. So,
No,
but yeah,
the the angle I'm coming at that with is I think it was better that you both didn't know each other because
yeah,
you could come in with a little bit of trepidation of, "Oh my god,
Mm-hmm.
they're so good," and there was none of that. You just were mutually met each other and admired each other's talent from the beginning without any, uh, premonition. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, to
so,
your point, yeah, to your point, I found out, and this has only happened one other time, but when Asher Monroe's album came out, I was remodeling a house that I was living in. I was working in radio, and at night I would remodel the house. And I can remember distinctively putting my CD player on just repeating just the Blade. It was just that song. I was repeating the Blade
wow.
over and over and over. I love that song. And we were doing a writer's round together, and she just decides to start playing the Blade. And I had this like huge aha moment of like, holy crap, you wrote that song. This was years after we had wrote the Kelly Clarkson song. So same thing for her not seeing me on The Voice, me not knowing that she had written the Blade. I agree with you. I think it, is the perfect way for us to write that song.
That's the thing, and I just imagine that you 2 are gonna have more sessions together. But it leads me to, as far as both of you go, what was one of your biggest songs? I'll start with you, Jamie, that affected you at any age. The first song that really just affected you emotionally. Can you remember?
Yeah, I recently had a full circle moment around this song, which is funny that you asked this question. So my parents are musicians, and that was their only job. They had a band, and they played all the society gigs in Palm Beach. And my earliest memory of music is when my mom would put on her makeup before her gigs, she would sing to George Strait's records from like the late '80s. So I'm talking Oceanfront Property and the Chair, all of those. And that's my first memory of music that I have, and I remember the one song that always stuck with me was, "Nobody in his right mind would have left her," and as I grew up and understood like the play on words, um, I just remember thinking, wow, that's so brilliant. And as I learned that you could be a songwriter as your job and that's a dream you could have, I always just held myself to that standard of like Dean Dillon's writing of George Strait's earliest
Yeah.
music. And recently, you're not going to believe this, but I ran into George Strait in an empty hallway in a hotel. And he
Wow.
was coming down the hall, just me and him. And I was in like kind of like I am. I know you can't see right now, but just like in sweatpants, like totally not ready to meet George Strait. And I do a double take and I look up and he knew that I knew that, and he was so gracious and he shook my hand and I kind of went blank, I'm sure, and seemed very out of sorts. But I thanked him. I told him, you're my first memory of music and you're the reason I moved to Nashville and became a songwriter, wanted to write songs because of your music. And um he was just so, so lovely to me. And that is, I'm so glad I got to say thank you to him because he really
That's
did.
awesome.
That changed my life. So that would be
That's
the
awesome.
song for me. Nobody in his right mind would have left her George Strait.
Yes. Did he leave you with a smile?
Hey,
He
I
did.
love that.
Just
That's
he
my
walked down
favorite.
the hallway out of the blue clear sky. So
hey,
There we go.
I'm
That-
on.
yeah.
That's my favorite George Strait song is "She Will Leave You with a Smile." I
Oh.
that song affect because it goes, and
Mm.
I remember one of the earliest times I talked to you, Jake. You have that one song about slow dance,
Yeah.
um, a song that we can slow dance to, and it
Yes,
has
sir.
that two step in the chorus that like that song does, and that's
Yeah.
why I love that song because it reminds me so much of George Strait's "She Will Leave You with a Smile." That
Hey, listen, to be compared to that, I'll take it, man.
Right.
yeah,
I'll
I
take it.
love that song.
Actually, we were talking about Danny Meyer. He actually co-wrote that song with me and produced that one too. And
Oh, I
that
love
one,
that
I
song.
showed up and I said, I just want to write a song that I can slow dance to with my wife. And he goes, well, let's just write that. And so
Great
I
idea.
that's where
love
that.
that song. Oh,
Oh,
it's such
thanks,
a
man.
beautiful song.
That is awesome.
No, but and then before I get to your question, the same question with you, Jake, I want to go back to you, Jamie. So I've asked this of Ali Colleen. That's where it started.
Mhm.
What was your hairbrush song as a little girl in the mirror?
Oh, we have it on video and I'd post it, but I'm in just a diaper, so I look ridiculous. It was Michael Jackson, those like, oh baby, give me one more time.
Well,
Uh
Jackson 5.
yes,
Jackson
it was
5.
Jackson 5.
The OGs.
And for real, I was like only in a diaper and my hair was just as long as it is right now. So imagine a 2 foot tall person with hair that looks like this.
Heck tight.
Yes. Yep. Dancing in my diaper. And I was bossing my dad. I'm like, this is my stage. I'm standing on a little crate and I was literally singing into, I was a little boss baby on my stage singing Michael Jackson. So that would be, so Jackson 5 and George Strait, a very broad.
Same people, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Very close.
Yeah.
Very close.
1, 2, 3 is easy as
Yeah,
ABC is 1, 2,
exactly.
3.
Yeah.
ABC
all
1,
of
2,
those.
3. Yeah. Jake,
Yeah.
what was not your hairbrush song, but what was your
He
what
had the
was the
hairbrush song.
do you have a hairbrush song? I actually sung in the mirror
Listen,
before.
I have to keep a brush for this beard. So yeah, no, I'm trying to think a hairbrush song. I would
Well,
say it was probably so my parents, so I'm one of 9 kids, and my parents designated songs for each of us that they would sing to us at night. And my song was Sunshine on My Shoulders by John Denver. And so
I
at an
love that
early
song.
age,
Wow.
I fell in love with John Denver. And between Sunshine and Annie's song, I those were my first 2 songs I learned to play. So those were probably my hairbrush or beard brush songs at an early age anyway.
Oh, they're sweet.
That's
Yes.
Wow. Now, what was the first song that ever affected you emotionally when you heard it?
Golly, I think that's really difficult, but I will tell you the most prominent one I can think of is I long before The Voice, I was playing those 4-hour gigs at all the bars and wineries, and you become a human jukebox. And so I would literally take nothing but requests for 4 hours. And I think by doing that, you kind of disconnect from the songs per se. You just, you know the chord structure, you know where the melody goes, so you just sing it. And I had gone through a really rough divorce, and I took some time off from music. And my first show back at this little college bar, somebody came up, and it's funny, Miss Tina, that you said Garth Brooks. Somebody came up and said, "Can you play what's the dance song? The dance,
The
the
dance.
The
dance."
dance.
They said, "Could you play the dance?" And I said, "Yeah, whatever." They put $2 in the bucket, And I got about 45 seconds into that song and broke down. And that was the first time those words had ever become real. And I tell people that story because I'm like, as a performer, if you can just connect with that song you're singing, it takes it from just singing it to people actually believing what's being said. And while it was a tough moment, it became a beautiful thing of how I approach songs now that I sing, of like, I want to feel what they're saying. So yeah, probably the dance at a college bar out in Cookeville, Tennessee years ago.
I love it. Well, we have a
Tony?
game here that Don was talking about. It's called Song Story Game, right? This is actually a press play game. And I've drawn a card for you guys. So each get to answer this one too. So your card is, if you could dedicate one song to the world, what would it be?
Dang.
Oh, oh,
What's a song the world needs right now?
I guess I'm just gonna go with what first comes to me. I feel like I could choose several, but I think mine would be "Smile though your heart is
Oh, I
aching,
love that song.
Aw.
smile even though it's breaking." Yeah, that would be mine because it covers
Isn't that
so
from
many
Charlie
bases.
Chaplin and then Nat King Cole did it?
Oh, I feel like there's been so many incredible covers, but yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
classic ones are just the best. I don't know if I could choose which one, but yeah,
yeah.
that would be mine.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
Dang.
Jake,
Well, while you're thinking, Jake, you know what song has that weird where it's like the world is falling apart and there's an apocalyptic scene behind it, but then this song just balances it out. It's that Louis Armstrong, "What a Wonderful World."
Oh,
Oof.
Every
yeah.
time I hear Louis Armstrong's version of it, and you just imagine, like, things could be just getting blown up, and then, but that song comes in, it's just like it's this weird balance that
something
happens.
on the Umbrella Academy or something.
I could see
Yeah.
that.
A scene
Yeah.
where it's all blowing up and then Louis Armstrong singing. Jake,
Oh, that's in it?
what's your dedicate? No,
Yeah.
I don't know. Just that's what it would picture.
Oh gosh. Golly. I think I would go with a song that when I saw it in the movie, it evoked such a emotion from me that I'll never forget it. And I play it at a lot of my shows, and watching people who have never met stand side by side and sing it, it would probably be Lean on Me. And I feel like right now, if there was ever a time that we need to be leaning on each other and pulling each other along, it'd be now. So I would probably go with that one because that's what a great song.
Great choices.
Very nice.
Great choices. Well, this leads me to, you have a kid's book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes,
The
sir.
Great Blowout.
Oh,
Oh.
hold on
Oh.
one second. Hold on.
I was gonna
Oh,
say, I know
I
the
see the
book's around
Great
your
Blowout and the lights go out.
and then the
Yeah.
lights go out.
That's kind of
Why don't you
poetic
keep
justice there.
And we're back.
I'll go get that.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
That was
Never
so funny. What a great timing. You can get it on Amazon. The Great Big Blowout is the song, is the book.
Yeah.
But there's a song that goes with it.
There is a
Now,
song. Yes.
I was telling Tina that I was almost going to, as an April Fool's joke, start with this going, this is the song that won Jake season 17 of The Voice. And I was going to play this song.
Yeah.
But
That would be great.
have you heard it, Jamie?
Yes.
What did you think the first time you heard it?
I just because I know Jake and his kids, I just thought it's just so you guys.
Yeah.
It was just like, I believe you were saying when you sing a song and you want the audience to believe every word, like that's one that I believe it. And it's so sweet. And just the girls are just, I believed it. I believed it came from your heart,
Yeah.
every word.
That's so funny. Well,
So,
let's see if we
really good.
well, we may not even
Oh,
get
you
to
gotta
hear
play
it because my stuff. Oh, there we go. I think it's going to work now. Let's see. Will it work now?
When you have a big blowout, what do? Grab a pizza box and poke some leg holes through. Oh no, it's too boxy. Blowouts, blowouts, they're messy. Yuck, 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 yuck. Blowouts, blowouts, you'll be clean and much more than a dirty butt.
True.
When you
true.
have a big blowout, what do? Grab a basketball, any size will do. Oh no!
A basketball. That's what
Listen,
He's getting
where did
creative.
basketball come from?
listen, my head's a weird place, man.
Oh.
No, so basically the song came well after the book. I'll just say that. The book started as my wife and I took our second oldest to the park when she was real little, and we were going to go on a walk. And I went to get her out of the car. I was wearing a Panthers hoodie. And when I took her out of her car seat and put her in my arm, it was wet. And I was like, what is going on? And then I looked down and obviously blowout. So I took off the hoodie. We didn't have a diaper bag in the car. So I took the hoodie off and cleaned her up, cleaned her car seat up, put her back in it. And we drove to a Walgreens and got diapers. And I said, well, I still want to get a walk in. So we went back and realized, well, we don't have a change of clothes. So weirdly enough, we had a sheet in the back of the car. So I wrapped her in the sheet, put her in the stroller, and we went walking. And I just wrote this thing while I was walking, this like poem of whatever. And I posted it and it went viral. And everybody started saying, 1, do more of these. 2, write a book about it. 3, write a song about it. And so I partnered up with the guy, Izzy B, who's a great illustrator, author, and he kind of gave me some pointers. And so I just turned it from that into, the dad is looking for diaper alternatives. And so a basketball and a pizza box and all these different things. And so when I was writing the songs, I was like, oh, let's just throw the basketball in there too. But my girls point out to me every time, Daddy, that wouldn't work. And I know, I know, but it makes for a cool story anyway,
So
Well, it's something that I think everyone can relate to. Tina?
In my mind, I can imagine cutting open a basketball, cutting some holes in it, and setting the baby in it.
Listen, you get that sealed tight enough, there ain't no blowouts happening in a basketball. I can just tell you that much.
Mother,
I ain't using that, Wilson. I'll tell you that right now. Well, it's interesting because you know how they always say like everything that's guaranteed to us is like death and taxes, right? But so are blowouts. I don't think there's anybody on this planet that at some age didn't have a blowout. So
that's right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and every parent is going, "You're dang right, absolutely." Yeah,
It's the reason why if I was a performer, I would never eat 30 minutes or an hour before a show ever, because that could happen. I could only imagine being on stage, third song in, and going, "Oh my God, I'm gonna die."
Yeah. You start penguin walking to the side of the stage. Come on, man, just waddling.
Oh my
Which brings me to this question: most embarrassing stage moment. Do you have one?
Every night, I feel like I'm on stage. There's something crazy that I do. So I was playing at an opera house in Mitchell, Indiana, which is Hoosier country, and they have a little.
Indiana, guys. She lives in Indiana.
I'm in Indiana.
Oh, so you know very well.
Hey.
So it was my first time playing there, and they said, "Hey, we partner with this. It's called the Railroad Cafe. It's right down the road, and they have a Hoosier tenderloin, which is like this big, and they put it on this size of a plate. Like it's the craziest looking deal." But I ate the thing, and it was wonderful. And so we're playing the show, and I'm always very interactive with people. I want to talk to people. I want to pull people out of the crowd and make them part of whatever we're doing. And I was like, I know y'all are from here, but if you ain't been over there to that Railroad Cafe to eat, you're missing out. And somebody said, "Who's your tenderloin?" And I thought they were saying, "Who's your tenderloin?" Which I took it as a very weird proposition. I was like, I don't know how to respond to that. And they're like, "No, who's your tenderloin?" I was like, once again, that's really weird. I don't know why we're saying it. And so one of my band guys came up and grabbed me and they're saying, "It's Hoosier. You're in Hoosier country." I was like, oh my gosh. So the rest of the show, we made fun of me. All my guys did. It was wonderful. But yeah, getting told who's your tenderloin, that was an interesting moment.
Oops.
Who did you think I was like, "Who's your daddy?"
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was
Who's your
like,
tenderloin?
but who's your tenderloin? What? Come on.
Oh my goodness.
All right, Jamie. Jamie, yours?
Oh, mine. So I would say I'm originally from South Florida, and this one just sticks out to me as the most painful
I live in
one.
Florida.
Oh, you are where?
Tampa.
Oh, Tampa. Okay. I grew up in West Palm, and my immediate family's still down there. And And I was playing at one point before I moved to Nashville, I was playing like 150 dates a year down there. So it was like crazy. I got to do some amazing shows. And one of them, I was so excited. I was probably 16 and I got to open for like a bill of country artists. Like, and it was when Mark Wills, it was like when 19 something was like #1 that week. I
Oh, yeah,
remember.
1980 something. Yeah, that's
Yes, that's right. 1980 something. That's right.
Yeah.
And it was like him and Daryl Worley and Rascal Flatts. I mean, I'm talking at the peak, right? And I get to open the show and I was singing to tracks. And as I go to walk on the stage, I'm talking right out of the gate. You know, all those bands have all their gear on stage, right? So everyone's guitars are in the stands, everything. I get my heel caught on one of the guitar cords, okay, that's in the rack. And I fall forward. Now I catch myself, but the guitars go slamming to the ground on the stage. I'm talking like, and they were the electric guitar rig. Imagine having to perform after that, right? Like knowing that these super expensive, like, so 2 guitars go crashing to the ground after I trip over the wire. And I had to still keep going. Like I had to go out and say hello to the crowd. I mean, I'm talking in a giant amphitheater. It was downtown. Yeah, it was like downtown Palm Beach, like near where they do Sunfest. It's like, actually forget what the amphitheater's name is now, but it's at this amphitheater. And the crowd, this giant crowd. Boy, that was really hard and really embarrassing because I grew up on stage. I mean, I've been on stage since I was 3 years old with my parents. So that was a bad one. So that was pretty bad. And I don't know whose guitar. I don't know if it was Rascal Flatts or like whose guitars they were, but they definitely slammed to the ground. Yeah.
That's going to cost me 1980 something.
Hey,
Right?
come on.
Oh, yeah.
Come on now.
Oof.
Mark
It was
Wells.
Very good.
That's why he wrote the song.
Right.
No, but did the guitar break? I mean, that's the key. I mean,
No, I remember the one. I just have it ingrained in my mind, and it was a it looked like it was either a Strat or a I think it was a Strat, but it was like blue. It was like that baby blue color, and it slammed down on the ground, and it didn't break that I could see. You know, it wasn't like shattered or anything like that. It just slammed, and the stage, the amphitheater ground was concrete.
Oh my gosh.
So it was going on to concrete. But I don't know.
My rear end is in my gut right now because I've been around, and as a guitar player, when that happens, you're just like,
And I knew because my dad's like an elite guitar, like jazz guitarist. So I knew I wasn't like some idiot that I didn't know what was happening. It was really bad. I knew what I had done, but I truly had tripped. Like I you know, it was just I didn't mean it, but it was very horrifying.
she was taking out the competition. What she was doing.
Yeah.
It's just like
Well,
not
the
that I
beauty-
love guitars.
The beauty of a Fender is that the tuning pegs are all on one side. But if it's a Gibson, you have a good chance that 3 of them are going to break. So you might have
No, it was it was definitely the electric. So I think they played it, but and like all the label people were it was a nightmare. It was my nightmare.
so that's why you walk on stage like the Pink Panther. And
I creep on stage now. Keep your guitars out of my path.
So tell us, guys, where for the world out there, where can we find information about both of you? Where can they come see you that you can tell us about?
Well, if you want to see Jake and I, we're going to be, our next show together is at Windfest in Texas.
Portland, Texas
On April 10th. 6 o'clock, we go on stage. So we'd love to see you at Windfest. The tickets are on sale now, or you can get them, you know, at the venue there. So we're excited to do that. And then, for all the other shows that we have together and separately, we've both got websites and social media. So my website where you can find everything as a central location would be officialjamiefloyd.com, and that's Floyd like Pink Floyd. and I've got my show schedule up there for the next little bit, including all the shows with Jake.
You mentioned the Grand Ole Opry is April 17th, Friday, and
That's right.
Vince Gill is going to be there.
How nice.
He's playing that night too. Yeah.
He's a hero.
Oh,
Yeah, of course he is. Guy's amazing. You know, when you listen to Pure Prairie League, right? And Let Me Love You Tonight,
Oh, yeah.
It's just a whole different, like that whole band is different when he was singing it.
Oh,
And then everything he does with Amy Grant, right? And
oh,
anything like that is amazing. Gary Muleder, the comedian, will be there too. Wilder Blue and the Vincent Neil Immersion. That is April 17th, Friday, Grand Ole Opry in Nashville.
How
And then
fun.
you're playing a high school, Cumberland County High School in Crossville, Tennessee.
Yes, yes. I think it's like a motivational. I think one of the guys from Duck Dynasty is going to be there. They've
No.
got me there doing mime work. Just yeah.
The man in the box thing. You're gonna
Yeah,
stand
yeah.
there.
Just I'll come out every once in a while, and pull a rope or something. But no, that's roughly where I went to school at in that area, college, and lived there for many years, and so we try to come back every once in a while and do some different events there. But that's going to be a cool one.
Can I just say that I think a genius thing would be to be a mime musician. You get up there and you like
And pretend like you're singing and playing your
you're
instrument.
doing this and
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Yeah, I
That'd be
mean,
great.
come on.
Are you gonna do any
Another one.
big festivals this summer?
Well, hold on. That's what I was going to get to, Tina. I
Oh,
want to talk about this June 3rd, Wednesday at 3rd and Lindsay, because I'm looking at the artists there. Mark Willis. There's Mark again. Ty Herndon, who I've had on here a few times. Neil, who we've had on. T.G. Shepard, we've had on. John Barry have all been here. What a lineup that's going to be.
Yeah, and that's
Kelly
the
Ryan.
benefit. I've done it a couple years in the past, and it's wonderful. And Mark, I'll just say this about Mark real quick. He is one of the sweetest guys. I actually opened for him in Punta Gorda the year before Exile,
Oh,
and they uh they didn't have hotel rooms for us, and we were sitting in a 15-passenger van in the middle of the summer, and Mark found out, not only came over and told us, "Hey, here's 3 of my guys' rooms because we got a bus here, but Jake, I want you to come get on the bus, and I want to talk to you about things that you need to ask for and, like, different things that your team needs to be doing." And so he's been a huge mentor of mine, so I love Mark, and be able to share any stage with him is always just a great time.
that's
that's
beautiful.
awesome.
That's beautiful. And then also, just real quick, festival wise, I did see one here. The Runsaverde River Festival in West Virginia, in Runsaverde, West Virginia.
Party.
West
That's
Virginia is always a party. It don't matter if it's a festival or a backyard concert. Something wild's going to happen up there. So we love coming to West Virginia.
Ooh, and you're going to be in my neck of the woods in July 11th at Claremont Performing Arts Center.
Yeah, yeah. You said you're in Florida. We're in Florida.
I'm
A
in
bunch of
Tampa.
playing.
Tampa,
Yeah.
which is not Claremont's basically Orlando.
Okay. Yeah. I've got a couple of friends down there, and I will just tell you, one of the wildest stories I ever had in any show happened in Ybor. So right down the road. I will just tell you, there's some wild people, and they love
Ybor is
country music, and we had a wild time. But yeah, I love playing down that way.
Ybor City. I've got stories.
Huh?
Yeah, when I first moved here, I moved from New Jersey. I was 26, and then hey, go to Ybor because there's music venues and other things down there. Boy, it can get a little nutty in Ybor City. What happens in Ybor
Very
City
much so.
stays in Ybor City. It was Cubans when they migrated here from Cuba. They came to Ybor City, a bunch of cigars. If you want really awesome cigars,
You can watch them roll it right in front of you
roll
too.
them
It's
right there in
incredible.
Ybor City. It's incredible. So anybody, come to Ybor and I'll meet you there. All right. So
Come on, man.
Yeah.
thank you both. Jamie, it was an honor to have you here with us too and doing this. This was
Really.
great.
Well, thank you so much. We just happened to be rehearsing before
Yeah.
Jake
Yeah.
jumped onto this, and I was packing up my guitar and everything, and he was like, "Hey, you want to come
Yeah.
on?" So I appreciate you all having me. It was a
No,
fun
thank you
surprise to get
so
to chat.
much. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back with another episode. Thank you and good night. Thanks, Jamie and Jake.